It's still two for the whole world. 10 toes down, chose my own words wisely. I poet like a bar. Send it, you spit like your cars.
Two. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Two for the World Show. The platform where we create us is Actual Factuals. I'm your host, William Zillions. On the last episode, we talked a bit about the culture of cops. I want to delve a little bit deeper into that, sort of explore it a little further. I think it's very interesting how different police respond to situations with nonviolent African-American citizens versus how they respond to situations with violent white citizens. And because the delta between how they respond in those two types of situations is major, you know what I mean? For example, in 2019, pretty close, it's just last year, let's examine two different situations. Now, they both took place around the same time of the year, like the end of the year, and they both took place in Virginia. So, analyzing these two situations, we know that at the very least, the cops probably have very similar training, considering they came from the same state of Virginia. The first thing I want to look at is the arrest of Derek Thompson. Now, I saw this video recently on YouTube, even though it happened last year. This young man's account starts, the video starts with the officer reaching in, forcing his arm through the window, rolling the window down from outside of it, opening the door, and then immediately jumping into the Derek Thompson's face, saying, "I am a specimen."
You can't do that, sir. This officer is trying to unlock my car. This officer is unlocking my car. They just illegally entered my car. And I'm being forcefully removed.
Take a look at me. I'm a fucking specimen right here, buddy.
Sir, you have gotten on my last nerve. Hands are up on camera.
All right?
I'm in no threat
You're
to these
going to get your ass whooped in front of fucking Lord and all creation.
Yelling, "I am a specimen," into this young man's face. I don't know how that at all has anything to do with the situation. I don't even know what that means. A specimen of what? Mr. White Supremacy Man.
This officer has threatened me, and I'm making it known I am no threat to this officer. I've been threatened.
Watch the show.
My life is in danger. My life is in danger.
How do you like that? How do you like that?
I don't know, but I don't know. I'm not going to say that. I don't know if that's the case. But what I'm saying is that it has nothing to do with the solution to the situation, right? But violence is how extreme violence, extreme, aggression is how this cop decided to respond to something that was very routine, very nonviolent. Versus the arrest of this cat named Matthew Bernard, which happened also end of last year, 2019 MVA, a suspect of murder. Now, the account of this person's arrest is very different.
An officer used mace to try to stop Bernard, but he kept on running straight at Lloyd Galden in a church parking lot.
I was just saying, "Good Lord, get me out of it," and I was fighting him as much as I could. Bernard
then took off down the road, where he was stopped by officers working with a police dog.
Now, this is a suspect, a person that is suspected of murdering 3 people. The video starts with the cop having the gun around their person, but not pointing it at the person who is suspected for murder, and then chasing after him on foot, getting to the point where it's like it almost becomes like a weird It makes me think about, because often we talk about excessive force, but what about necessary force? And why is it that police officers tend to not want to apply necessary force to situations of citizens who are extremely violent, however, are white, and then they are treated with favor? Now, Walter Scott, he was killed in 2015 by a police officer. Once again, this situation escalated by a police officer for something that was just a routine traffic stop, or I believe he had a taillight out, pardon me. But that's something routine, something that you deal with on a day-to-day basis. Dylan Roof killed 9 people in a church. He prayed with them before he murdered them. He sat in the church, prayed with them. Amen. At the end of the service, he killed 9 people, and then it was this massive manhunt over the weekend, man hours. Everybody's hunting after this kid, and at the conclusion of this manhunt, the cops capture him unaggressively and take him to Burger King. And then when they asked the police officers what was their reasoning for doing so, they said that it was because he didn't eat. They said that they decided that they wanted to treat him like a human being and concern themselves with his his lack of eating. So just to make sure he ate something, the most humane thing they could do was to like take him to Burger King. A murderer, confirmed. He killed multiple human beings. Now I want to look at this further too, because I was watching the Dave Chappelle special, the 846, and he mentioned Christopher Dorner. Now Chris Dorner, I didn't know, and like when it happened, I was kind of not really paying attention, kind of young. But Chris Dorner is a confirmed cop killer, killed 2 cops in California, and then the cops murdered him after a manhunt. Now he was a black guy, but they didn't. All he did was kill 2 people, and they murdered him. I think they like set the building that he was in on fire and like let his body crisp up on the inside. It's favored. Like even in the most extreme cases of disgusting human behavior to a white American, and it is if violent in nature, the police go at it with a certain level of care and humanity that is unseen. That actually the opposite is seen for African American or people of color. The opposite is seen in our experiences for something as simple as a traffic routine, a routine traffic stop. You understand? And I think, you know, when we talk about the topic of qualified immunity, and you know, holding accountable the police officers who choose to do wrong, when we're having that conversation, I think it's important to state once again for the record that qualified immunity is just a legal defense, and that it in no way exists without police misconduct. You feel me? So I think it's super important for us right now to just hold our states accountable. I want to see what changes we can make, that we can implement to improve the quality of life across the board, because qualified immunity ain't shit except for a legal defense that protects people who do wrong. So if we should in no way as a country that's talking about being constitutional should have anything that protects like lawless people who have complete impunity and shit on human beings that are citizens of this country. You feel what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna talk your ear off too crazy. That was just my little segment of my little second segment on the culture of cops. To another episode of the 2 for the World show, the platform where we create us is Actual Factuals. I'm your host, William Zillions, and yeah, man, stay true. It's still 2-4.
Competent composer of the other race. Journey to the Kenyan legend, took a peek, then I leap. Whoa, I'ma jump on and on this. Over any distance, steps I take are big. My pen like my blade, she blow on my wrist. Shots I never take, only ones I miss. Then again,